It's day 2. Okay, inkling agents. You know, inkling means that you have an idea. You have an inkling, an idea. So that means that you are young agents from the Secret Chapter Society. And of course, we're on chapter 2, which, it was heartbreaking. Again. Please hold on. I know you're like, I don't want to read a sad story for Christmas. I don't want to cry. Don't worry. It gets better. We're just laying the land. We're putting in the emotional stakes. Okay. So it's going to get better. But holy cow, we've got a lot more clues. I have several pages that look like this. Oop, this. Okay. So these pages are filled with notes, which requires, because, you know, glasses, because I've been staring at the computer all day. I have to put the readers on because even though I could read this 5 hours ago, I can't read it now. I could read it when I wrote it too. Okay, so we have, right there. Many of them were inclined not to really believe in an oversized elf who made a magical reindeer carriage, who rode a magical reindeer carriage around the entire globe in a single night. I mean, they lost their imaginations and their desire to dream something completely absurd. And when you can't dream of something absurd, as children specifically, but even adults need to be able to dream of absurd, then we lose the ability to invent. And inventions are very necessary because we progress, we make life better, we make life more interesting. We can explore outside of this world. But you know what? It's even important to explore inside this world because the ocean still has depths we haven't found yet. So to lose the imagination and the ability to wonder, that's heartbreaking. But that's not the only heartbreaking part. Okay, so then we've got he's an orphan, because that's what it basically says. He's from Ghana. That's in Africa. Go check it out on a map. It's very interesting. And he gets to London by way of the Mediterranean. So now, this is not like a Norse myth. Like this isn't about Scandinavia, Norway, Finland, even like Siberia of Russia. This isn't that kind of a story. This is a multinationality story, multi-ethnic story, because he's from Ghana, which is in Africa, which is quite interesting. And his thing was that Santa found me every year. So I always knew that someone cared enough to choose a gift especially for me. Oh. I feel that one every time. Okay, so then this one gift is the thing that meant the most and became who he was, even though his name was Briar, and we already had a clue that he has something to do with loving plants. So I never knew there was a love of plants inside me, but Santa did. But even his name was a clue, but he didn't know. And so, wow. Okay. And then we get into that name, the author's name of the book. It is Thomas, I got it written down here. Thomas Coup. Okay, Thomas Coup. Thomas Coup. There's some pronunciation variations because it is Romanian, but it is also apparently very common in England. I didn't know that. But Romanian is more common. And the interesting thing about that is this is typically a last name. And it usually gives you an indication. This is a very Eastern Bloc Baltic kind of thing. This would be the daughter of the son of Thomas. Thomas Coup. Okay, so this is another clue, I think, of we're getting into the Baltic regions and the North stuff from Africa via the UK, London, England. So very interesting drop there. Now that also I don't know if this is going to be anything. This is something I noted. So when I looked up the definition of this name, or its origins, which then also led to the definition Aramaic. That is another ancient language. So cool. And twin. Now, I'm not saying he's Niko's twin, but what if they're twin souls, they're twin hearts, they're twin missions? I don't know. I've got a lot of thoughts. I got a lot of orange in here. So remember, on my list and I've added to my annotation list, I do have orange as thoughts, things that I want to think more about. So we've added Duchess. I kind of knew I needed to add Duchess, but I forgot to add her. So she is this purple periwinkle color. I don't know. I forgot to link these markers on the website, so I will put these on there too. These are ones that you can use on if you own the book. They don't bleed through, and it has a thin tip and the chiseled tip. So really helpful on that. I wasn't sure Dad Breyer was going to be in the story a lot. But I'm finding a lot of him in here, so I added green, of course. And Juniper, again, I didn't know Mom was going to be in here a super lot, so I thought it was going to be like Duchess, Niko, and Juniper. So I added this, which then leads me, and I'm going to run out of time here because I only have 10 minutes to talk to you all. You know, the agency keeps me on a clock. The ending of chapter 2. Yeah. Okay, get the glasses back out. Here's the readers. Mum, British for mom, Momchka, did not, in fact, come home. That day, that Mom was vibing, that Mom was healing from the grief of losing her husband, and something happens. We don't know what happens yet, but the author keeps giving us clues. Now, I did make a note of that too. Like, where's that note? There it is. I put this little arch here because I'm questioning these clues. They keep coming. And I'm like, this is a fast shift. Why is there a fast shift? This is making me wonder things. Again, this is pacing clues. Big pacing clues. So all of this good stuff, Juniper thought, very positive. We're turning a corner today. And then the author pipes in as the narrator. She was right about turning a corner, but wrong about positive. Oh, but there was another quote in here that I super loved. There it is. This is from Mom, Juniper. Of course it's okay to be sad, said Juniper. As a matter of fact, it's healthy. So true. And that's something that you don't hear a lot of adults say today. They want you to be happy all the time. But how can you be happy all the time if you don't know what sadness is either? You have to have the gamut of emotions. That is humanly healthy to experience all the emotions. I do believe this book is going to be a roller coaster of emotions. But okay, so questions. We need 2 questions. Okay, or 1 question. The question is actually about Duchess, okay? So there's a lot of clues about Duchess. I mean, first of all, they call her Duchess, so she's got a royal name. I'm loving this a lot. But there's also these clues about her having a history, a family history of royalty. There's the traveling around the Isles. So we've got Ireland, we've got Wales, we've got Scotland. What else? There was another one. I have these highlighted here with my Duchess color. Welsh, let's see, she's got the British accent. She's in her 50s. She's also got a Cockney accent. That was interesting. And there was something else. Oh goodness, there's so many things. Okay, so what do you think her story is?